Computer. Cool. All right.
Got it.
Hey, everybody. I am lucky enough today that Michelle, my friend, my dear friend, Michelle Newton now, who is, she just got married.
Newton.
I don't think I've called you Michelle Newton yet. She's joining us
Not
today.
many people have.
She just got married back in September. Yeah.
Yeah,
Golly. It feels like it was like 2 weeks ago.
I know. Time flies.
Time flies. Michelle's joining me today. Yesterday we had Corey on, and Corey was talking about the Super Bowl from the Chiefs perspective. Michelle might be the biggest Eagles fan that I'm closest with. I'm trying to think of any other. And you're probably my closest friend that's an Eagles, the biggest Eagles fan that I'm closest friends with.
Yeah, I think I'm the only Eagles fan that I know here, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I know there's a there's a lady I work with. She's been posting all Jalen Hurts stuff all week. So, but like I did, I'll catch her next time. But yeah, Michelle, thanks so much for joining. Like I
You're
said, we
welcome.
might have like 4 views, but if this goes viral, hopefully,
Actually, probably for the best because I'm a huge Eagles fan, but I don't know that I'm the best at football knowledge, so we'll see how this rolls.
But fan short for fanatic, and that's all you got to have is the passion. You know what I mean? So you don't.
Yeah, well, I got the passion, got that covered.
That's what I love. And I mean, so our buddy Rabbit was telling a story about Michelle one time. Words I cannot say at it was a Falcons Eagles game at the Benz. Was definitely not safe for work, not safe for kids. But I loved hearing it. It was so funny. Which is kind of, speaking of which, Eagles fans have kind of like I don't want to say a bad rap, but like a rough rap. You know what I mean? Like,
We do. And you know what, though? I thought you were going to tell a story about the time I got kicked out of Whitehall Tavern.
no,
And
let's pull that
yes, we have that rap.
one.
We went to Whitehall Tavern one time to watch the game out in Buckhead, and it was in October, and we showed up, and it's a night game, so it's night. You're at a bar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they had this like pumpkin carving thing before the game, so there were families there. And okay, so anytime you hang out with Steph, right, you're drunk as a skunk by the night. I'm drunk as a skunk. And
Yeah.
FYI, this was also in my teacher days. So I was a teacher at the time too. We're watching the game, and I'm that Eagles fan, the super passionate, and I am throwing out the words that you can't say. Start with an F, and it rhymes with fuck.
Yeah.
And this mom comes up to me and basically berates me. She was like, "My children are here. This is a family establishment." And I was mortified. I mean, I was mortified. I was like, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I was so drunk." I was like, "I'm a teacher. I promise you I'm a good person."
Wait, she is.
And they were basically like, "Okay, you should go." So yeah, we do have that rap. We do have that rap. I had a friend growing up. She is a Packers fan, and her family, they were brave enough to wear their cheese heads to Lincoln Financial to watch the Packers Eagles, and they were, I mean, just cut down by fans.
Oh, I
I
believe
don't
it.
think they would have done it if they knew, but I think we're just a passionate group of people. We really care about our team, and we just are so focused on that sometimes we forget to be kind
About
to
the
those around
humanity.
us during a game.
Yeah.
At least for me, it's during a game.
See,
Um,
I don't blame you. I know I mean, I've probably said some terrible things. I mean, this is why I don't follow college football recruiting anymore, because they're also just kids. But yeah, so no, I mean, the fanatic part. Okay,
yes.
that's funny. I mean, yeah, and everyone talks about Eagles fans booing Santa Claus and whatnot, but yeah, so it's kind of funny. Where do you think that passion comes from?
I don't know. I think maybe Philadelphia is just a collection of very passionate people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't know if you've ever been to Philly, but
I've only been
there
there.
are some strong-minded, strong-willed people out there, which is great, and I think that translates over to football. And then it's so different up north. Like down south here, everyone is so into college
Yeah,
football. We're
yeah.
not really, that's not like a thing we do up north. It's all NFL. And so it's like hyper focused on the Eagles. Growing up, I mean, I'd never watched like Penn State. I never watched college. It was just kind of like a ritual every Sunday, Monday, whenever we played. It was the Eagles.
Well, Eagles
And that's
fly.
where all of our passion was funneled into that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because I don't know that it translates to like the baseball fans or even the basketball fans. It's like a football thing almost.
I was
I
about
don't
to
know. You
ask
might
that.
know better than me.
I don't know. I don't, because like I've been to Philly one time and it was on a connection. So I've
Okay.
always wanted to go back and see what was about and whatnot. So I'll add to the list. But yeah, I've run into a couple of Eagles fans in some different scenarios, and it's always just like, oh. But
Get
to your
ready.
point, I mean, college football is kind of that down here. Um,
Yeah, that's exactly it. Down here, people get so cutthroat about college football. I feel like so it's just. I think it's the same, just flipped for us, NFL instead of college.
okay. So how do you feel going into the game? Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. How you feel? Pretty good.
I mean, I feel so confident. We've had such a good season, right?
Yeah, it's been a great
And
season.
Jalen's not hurt; he's playing, so that's extra confidence.
Okay, so his
I think
shoulder.
we're gonna. I think we got it. I mean, I know the Chiefs are so good. And of course, I have a special place in my heart for Andy Reid because I
Oh
grew
yeah,
up watching him. Um,
I have to admit.
Also, fun fact, did you know that he actually fired Sirianni from the Chiefs staff?
Yes, I was watching an interview with Peter King the other day, and they
Isn't
were,
that so?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're talking about PTI. They're like, what do we make of this beef here? And he's like,
yeah,
Sirianni was like a whole like a leftover from the past regime,
yeah, he was.
and so there was like this like whole thing. He was like Andy Reid already had his guy, the guy he brought in is still there.
Mhm.
I was like, oh man,
Yeah, it wasn't like they worked together and he fired him, but still, I feel
yeah,
like now Coach Sirianni has something to prove.
it comes full
Like,
circle.
yeah, like, did you make a mistake? But you didn't, because obviously he's where he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
yeah, so I think it's gonna be a fun game all around, all the drama
What's your
coming to
prediction on the score? Actually, wait. We're going to come back for your prediction on
okay.
the score. We'll come back
Oh
for
gosh.
yeah.
Okay, that's something I haven't even thought about. Okay, I'll
Okay,
let that.
save it for the end. So what do you think? What do you think the keys to the game for the Eagles winning? What do you think? What we like? What is one thing that you think is going to have to happen for the Eagles to win?
That's a good question and a tough question. Okay, so I think Jalen Hurts. I think the offensive line has to do what they've been doing for Jalen and
Mm-hmm.
giving him the opportunities. I think our defense has to like give us a couple picks during the game because I mean Patrick Mahomes is really good. Obviously, that offense is like amazing. So it's
I,
like, yeah,
I agree with you. I've thought one thing that's really impressed me with the Eagles. I said this to Corey the other day, talking to him. I was like, the Eagles have just been that team this season where if they had to get it, if they needed to get 1 yard, they got that
yeah,
yard.
they get it. It's like magic.
Yeah, and you're just like, so it's I'm with you. The Eagles' offensive line has been extreme. I mean, just dynamic this season. Hurts, we know what Jalen can do. So I'm with you. The fact that he's healthy,
Mhm.
I think there was a lot of questions going into the postseason, but I mean, I feel like he's answered all of them. Yeah, interesting. We because the picks, I was watching something with Steve Young the other day. And he was talking about how Patrick, like Patty Mahomes needs to kind of just like don't force it. So I'm with you. That's a good point because everyone's talking about the pass rush, but the pass rush, if that leads to some picks, I mean, all of a sudden you could see this thing get ugly real quick if there's some early takeaways.
Yeah, but it's still going to be tough though. Like, I don't think it's going to be a game that the Eagles just like take it and run with it, and they're far ahead in scoring. I think it's going to be close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still want to ask you what your prediction is.
Okay,
We'll come
don't
back to it.
ask me yet.
Yeah, not
Don't.
yet, not yet. Okay, so if the Eagles lose, what do you think is the one thing that has happened? What do you think is one thing that's happened that's led to them losing?
Losing. Oh my gosh. Well, if the unthinkable happens and somebody key gets hurt, obviously. That's the
Okay,
obvious.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Um, if they lose, it's because we're playing one of the best teams and they just one upped us. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's gonna be so neck and neck, and like I don't want to think about us
of
losing,
course, of course, of course.
but if it happens, it's definitely because we're playing such a freaking good offense,
Yeah, that's a good
right?
point. I think that's you guys are coming in with such like this. I mean, y'all go like 15-2 this season or something like that.
So or
Yeah,
16,
something
yeah.
stupid like that, whatever. Yeah,
Again,
so
don't
I
ask
mean,
me numbers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I think we forget that like the Chiefs have been here. I mean, hell, the Chiefs were just here a couple of years, like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Losing to Tampa, and then they won the season prior to that. So, and then I mean,
Mhm.
you guys, the Eagles were just here like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess to your point of like,
Yeah,
if they lose, why? A lack of experience at the Super Bowl for like, especially Jalen. I mean, nerves. I don't
yeah,
know. Do those still play in?
yeah, yeah. I think they do. I think they do. Steve Young said something the other day. He was like, Jalen needs to remember like it's gonna go fast. So it's like you can't have
Yeah.
any turnovers, this, that, and the other, because I mean, you might only get a handful of possessions here. So that's
Yeah.
I think you're right about Jalen. I think you're spot on with the nerves. But this isn't Jalen's first rodeo. I mean, how many national championships did he participate with? And
It's his first rodeo for the Eagles.
that is
There's a different pressure. Hey, when Vic walked onto our field as our starting quarterback, he was booed and there were signs in the crowd. It was like, watch your eagle or watch your beagle, Vic's an eagle. Like, there's a lot to overcome with fans because we have such high expectations.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember that sign. Now you say that.
we're ruthless,
Oh yeah,
apparently. And I think, in that sense, like, oh my gosh, like I have to win this. If I don't, I'm going back to like fans that will turn on me. I'm not me. I'm not saying me. I'm not
yeah,
turning on
yeah, yeah.
him, but there's weird pressures outside of even just like playing the game that come into play. But obviously playing the game. It's the Super Bowl. It's his first one.
Yeah.
Um, the eyes of the football world will be on him that day. So
Yeah,
yeah, nerves.
and
Nerves playing a
America.
great team.
No, I agree with you.
Playing,
Like it's these two teams. I'm actually really excited for this game. I think it's gonna be a fun game, and I don't have a dog in the fight, which is great. But
yeah.
you're looking at two really good teams that can score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm real excited for this game. I think it's gonna be a fun one. Okay, Michelle,
Yeah,
I
I
won't
agree.
take up too much more of your time. I know you probably still got to get back to work. Eventually, hopefully, as your manager responded.
Happening over here. No, not yet. We're good.
Okay, what's your score prediction? Obviously, you got Eagles winning, but what you think? If you want to hear mine, I'll tell you mine first.
uh, yeah, it's so tough. I think it's gonna be like both teams in like the 30s or high 20s, neck and neck. I'm not good at like exact numbers
Okay, I'm
of
predicting.
like what it will be.
Yeah, I'm thinking 35-30 Eagles win. Okay. That
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Corey went with
That's
30.
kind of where I am.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say when you started saying the 30s, I was like, yeah. And then Corey said 31-28 Chiefs. Um, I really I know yeah, I know he's a Chiefs guy. Didn't really have the heart to be like, hey man, like anyway. I mean I just feel like there's so much. I feel like the Eagles have an advantage at most positions other than like quarterback and like tight end, and the pressure that you
Mhm.
guys are getting on quarterbacks right now is absurd. And then, like I said, I just don't know if the Chiefs defense if you got to stop the Eagles from getting a yard, can the Chiefs defense do that?
Yeah. I don't know. You're right. That magic of like even like pushing and getting that 1 yard that and they'll go for it. They'll
They'll
go
go
for
for
it.
it.
They're just
Yeah.
insane like that.
We, I mean,
Yeah.
we just
Um,
saw, you know,
and it works out. Like 9 times out of 10, it works out.
yeah. So anyway, I know we're gonna be at Rabbit's house watching the game. What are you making?
Yeah. I'm gonna make some tacos.
Holler.
I'm doing taco feast.
Okay, all right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Do I need to bring anything?
Yeah. Nope, just yourself.
I can do that.
Just yourself. There may or may not be brownies in the. I think we're delayed a little bit, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, we're delayed just a second, but like maybe half a
That's
second.
fine.
Well, okay, Michelle, thank you so much. This was fun chatting with you about the Super Bowl, the big game.
Always fun.
Yeah. I look forward to, like I said, I'm excited to not have a dog in this fight. Again, I do think the Eagles are going to win, but then I control Corey a little
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Represent. I've got some extra jerseys, but they probably wouldn't fit you.
Maybe I can get on like one arm.
One arm.
Yeah, maybe
wave it around like a flag.
Bring two, or bring three, and I'll go like one over. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But no, Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and I will see you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday, buddy.
All right, see you, Michelle.